Hello and welcome to FSM News. I'm Dominique.
And I'm Marquise Brown. FSM is a product of Free Spirit Media, which is a nonprofit organization that empowers youth voice.
Free Spirit Media, in partnership with the Gary Comer Youth Center, After School Matters, and the Medill School of Journalism, present FSM News on Hoops High.
Thanks for watching FSM News, filmed here at the Gary Comer Youth Center.
This week's show is about school and work. As you can see, we're wearing our college attire. It's the beginning of the new semester, and students are starting to worry about maintaining their grades.
If you are one of those, don't fret. This next story should help you in your school life.
FSM's Tavashane Brown has more. Take a look.
The books are open, and students are gearing up as the semester comes to end. Many students find studying as a necessity to prepare themselves for exams.
If you don't study, it'll affect you academically because sometimes you might not memorize things or you won't do as good as you think you will on tests.
When you can avoid it, try not to cram.
If you study for a long time, you'll remember more than studying just for 5 minutes.
Studying is the key to success. Make sure you manage your time wisely and place yourself in an environment that fits you.
If you study in a well-quiet area, you'll get more study time. But if you study in a noisy area, technically you won't get a lot of studying and you'll be confused and angry and stuff like that.
If you usually study at home, you should be consistent and continue to study at home. If you usually study right after school, you should stick with that because consistency is what makes for good study skills. If you're kind of all over the place, then sometimes the studying is just not going to happen at all.
Setting time aside for your studies is important. Balancing school and extracurricular activities can be hard to juggle.
Time management is probably the biggest piece as far as having good study habits.
For more study tips, visit www.studygs.net. For FSM News, I'm Tavashane Brown.
You know, Dominique, after watching that story, it made me think about my study skills. Maybe I shouldn't cram before the day before the test, but plan the week ahead.
Yeah, and maybe I should make easier study skills.
Up next in Teen Talk, we'll hear about how some teens balance between school and their jobs.
We'll be right back.
This is what happens when you eat breakfast.
Thanks for staying with us. You know, Marquise, some teens like you and I are privileged to even have an after-school job.
And there are probably even more teens who want to work but can't find the employment. It is becoming increasingly more difficult now that teen unemployment rates are on the rise. FSM's Rosie Martin has more on this story.
Adults are not the only ones that are affected by the recession. Across America, the unemployment rate for teens is down nearly 30%.
Teens want to work, so I wish there are more opportunities for them.
The unemployment rates continue to climb, both overall and especially for teens looking for jobs.
It's been hard because I have to wait till I'm 16, and that's when most of the job requires.
I feel that is terrible because it affects me and my peers, and we need jobs. So I feel like that is not good.
Even if you are a teen who has a job, make sure you are doing what you can to keep it, like balancing schoolwork, family, and friends. For FSM News, I'm Rosie Martin.
Hey Dominique, have you ever tried doing this?
No, let me try. Oh my gosh, this is harder than I thought it would be. This is often how it feels when we as teens try to balance the responsibilities between school and work. FSM's Kimani Cannon and Sterling Hill have more in Teen Talk.
Have you been having a hard time juggling your responsibilities like school and work?
Shantasia Lewis left a comment on our Facebook page saying that it is hard to balance the amount of work and also the schedules.
Here's more on how teens in the Gary Comer Youth Center try to balance their responsibilities.
Many teens now have jobs and go to school. For many, it is very difficult to focus on school and work. For Whitney Schneed, it is very hard for her to balance both and stay focused. She eventually had to quit her job to focus on school. But she is in a better mind state and she is able to handle both. Are you able to balance more now?
Yes, I am now because I know where I messed up in the beginning. So now I'm picking up back on it and I'm learning how to multitask between the two.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook.
Look us up, FSM News.
Sports is next, so stay with us.
Girl ballers have a lot to say about their sport. That's coming up after the break.
But before we go, we would like to give a special thanks to our Free Spirit Media friends at Westinghouse College Prep for the PSAs this week.
We'll be right back.
Somebody bring me some water.
Remember, kids, always drink water.
If you've never been to a girls' basketball game, you're missing out on some really good games.
You're right, because sometimes girl players have to work twice as hard to be equally as tough and skillful as boy teams.
FSM's Marshawn Crosby talked to the Gary Comer College Prep Lady Catamounts about the challenges that they face on the court. Let's see what they had to say.
Most people think that the female basketball team is not as strong as the male basketball team, so most times we have to try to prove them wrong by working even harder, about trying to win games.
In what ways do you think the boys and girls team are alike?
I say we are alike because we hustle real good, and then we get the open shot sometimes, and then I say we not alike when we different gender.
Girls come to the table with a little bit more, what would I say, cattiness, and they're not able to just leave it on the court or leave it outside of the court, and I think that that is a struggle that girls coaches have a little bit more than boys coaches, and the ability to just work themselves up to the level of boys to be able to compete. I think that we all want the best out of our student athletes, and we want them working hard, and we want to win. Everybody wants to win.
Well, that's our show. We hope you enjoyed news, sports, and Teen Talk from FSM News. We'll be back next week, but until then, guess what you have to do? If you haven't guessed already, I have Marquise tell you.
Don't forget to visit our Facebook page and become a fan and post comments on our discussion board. We might read yours live on air. You can find us by searching FSM News.
Thanks for watching. See ya.
Free Spirit Media partners with schools and organizations to provide education, access, and opportunity in media production to underserved urban youth. Through hands-on production of their own media content, participants build life skills in communication, critical and independent thinking, teamwork, and the use of technology. Believing that youth perspectives are a critical element of American culture, Free Spirit Media actively distributes student work to a range of audiences. Participants' dreams and aspirations grow, and in turn, their voices and visions benefit our society.